Hello. Okay, so we are going to do the questions for passage one reading in this 2021 preparing for the ACT book. And I've already read the passage, so that's in the video before this one. And we are going to look now at the questions. I want to remind you about the reading strategy. So we want to look at our questions and we want to, I missed one. Um, and we want to do lined questions. So I missed number 11 when I was answering these. Either that or I'm on the wrong passage. I must be on the wrong passage. Hold on. Yep. All right. So our lined questions, if we look at them, we're going to start with number 8, and then we are going to go to number 10 because those are the ones that tell us the line. So number 8 says, we're going to find number 8 in around line 35. Okay. So number 8 says, the statement, that's where you're going now, hurry up, in lines 35 to 36 can most directly be attributed to, and if you're taking notes, you want to write down that this is a lined question. Okay, so I'm taking notes here. It's a lined question, and it's mantra 20, direct information, which is what most of these are in passage 1. And so if we go to lines 35 and 36, which is right here, all that, it says the narrator of the, I'm sorry, it says the statement, that's where you're going now, hurry up, in lines 35 and 36 can most directly be attributed to what? Well, it's attributed to the narrator. The narrator is the one that's talking. And so we can eliminate F and G, and then there's nothing angry about the passage at all, so it would be H, as he speculates about what the cheering boy from the rival school meant when the boy pointed at the pool. Okay, now we're going to skip to number 10, and it says in line 67, so we're going to skip over here. Okay, it says, we're on number 10 now. When the narrator heard jump in his mind while swimming in line 67, he was most likely remembering what? Well, it says it right here. Now it was March, and I was down to my last opportunity, thinking about that day and hearing the word jump as my eyes followed the finger of the boy pointing me onward. So if we look at F, his teammates command the day the narrator caught the flag line. And it says right there that he's thinking about it. So the answer to number 10 is F. That's a lined question also. Okay, now let's just go to number 1. And so, let's go to number 2 because that's a hunting question. So that would be our third question that we would answer because we always answer lined questions first, then hunting, and then inferential. So number 2 says, and it's in paragraph 4. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4. I found it in paragraph 4. So it didn't tell us paragraph 4. Okay, the question is for number 2. Which of the following events mentions the passage that happened chronologically? Paragraph 4, and it's up here at the top. Okay, so it's talking about September. It's right here. That morning swimming, I remembered a day in late September the year before. So because it's talking about the year before, that's the first thing that happened chronologically. So the answer is G. The narrator leapt over the diving well in late September. Okay, let's go up to number 1. The narrator of the passage can best be described as the swimmer who primarily, this is also a direct information mantra 20, and he remembers, so we're looking at like the passage as a whole. He recalls or remembers the swim of his life and the factors that motivated him during that swim. And we can, it summarizes it right here in the end. I knew by instinct, by the spasm of my tendons and the ache in my bones, before I ever turned toward the clock and heard my coach scream that I had made it. Okay, we've already done number 2. Number 3 is in paragraph 2. And it says the narrator describes the natatorium as being nearly empty of spectators the day that is of his race in order to do what? This is also a direct information one, mantra 20. And if we look at number 1, it's to illustrate the perfect racing conditions that the narrator had hoped were not likely to occur. So it says, by the time I stood up on the blocks, I was not only the only one in the race, I was practically the only one in the natatorium. The horn sounded and I dove in. I was angry and disheartened at having missed the cut the day before, and I had little belief that I could go any faster today. So he's disappointed in himself. Okay. Number 4 is going to be in line 37. Now, you don't automatically know these. I found them ahead of time, but it's a direct information question in line 37. And it says the narrator indicates that when he swam the 1,000-yard freestyle in time trials, the world for a moment seemed to do what? And so I looked for 1,000 for this question. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. Let me see. Maybe not. Sometime a moment comes along when the world slows down, and though everything else moves around us at the same frenetic speed, we're afforded the opportunity to reflect in real time rather than in retrospect. So number 4 is J, slow down, allowing him time to reflect in real time. Number 5. The passage indicates that during a narrative swim, the time trial, he understood for the first time that what? And okay. The swim was an event that was important to him alone, and that's in the last paragraph, lines 65 through 75. So if we look right here, hold on. Now it was March, and I was down to my last opportunity, thinking about the day and hearing the word jump as my eyes followed the finger of the boy pointing me onward. What I understood, not later, but right then in the water, was how little this swim added up in the world. I had spent more than a year training for this one swim, and when it was finished, the world would be no different than it was before it began. If no one else cared, then the swim was mine alone. It mattered because it was the task before me now and the thing I wanted now. So that one is number 5 is C, and it's a direct information question, which is mantra 20. Number 6 is skill 19, facetious most nearly means. And it says, based on the passage, the word end, the narrator mentions in line 80, most likely refers to what? So right here, I was out of laters. This was the end, and I made my choice. I cashed in the energy I set aside for climbing out of the pool and unfolding my towel and tying my shoes. So the answer is G, last chance to qualify for junior nationals. And if we look up in the very first sentence of this, very first sentence, it says, or second sentence, it talks about the junior nationals right there in line 3. Number 7 is in line 10. It says that the narrator of the passage characterizes the time trial in Houston as what? So if we look at line 10, Houston, where a time trial was being held, an informal, unadvertised event thrown together at the last minute. So number 7 is direct information, mantra 20, line 10, and it says D, an informal swimming event put together at the last minute. Okay, we've already done 8. We need to do 9, and that's our last one. For the narrator, compared to practicing in the outdoor pool, practicing in the indoor pool is what? This is Mantra 21, um, a suggest question. This one we have to look for what is hinted at. And we're looking at lines 46 through 49 right here at the end of this paragraph. It says, all summer long, my teammates and I swam under an open sky. After this day, we would spend the rest of the season in a dank and moldy indoor pool. So the answer to number 9 is C, less appealing. So go ahead and put those into the echo, um, answering your multiple choice questions, and you are finished. Thank you.